So World War III released a little over a week ago now, and I've had plenty of time to try it out, enjoy it a bit, and see it with a more critical eye. So I figured now would be an appropriate time to give my full review for the things that I see, the things the community sees, and the things that concern me a little bit for the future. But the general synopsis is, the game is fun, but it has a long way to go. My name is Tacti, thank you for clicking on this video. If you're new here, I cover primarily first-person shooters, and I'm currently on the road to hit 30,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you're into these types of games, move your mouse and or thumb 2 inches and hit that subscribe button to keep us rolling towards 100K by next year. Alright, so it's no secret that World War III has had a tough re-release. A successful one, I would say, because tons of new players have hopped on, but it's still tough for a few reasons. Server issues, matchmaking issues, a broken squad system, infinite loading screens, these types of things continue to happen. Over the past week, the servers have been down a few times for maintenance, but we're normally up within a few hours, and I appreciate that the team has been communicating these issues and the fixes they're implementing, as well as being very helpful in the Discord attempting to solve problems. That's just a very good thing, but right now I don't think these issues really are worth talking much about. Yes, they make the game unplayable for some people, so if you want to avoid the headache, don't buy it just yet, but this is the early stages of the beta, so I expect some of these problems to occur. What really concerns me is not so much the technical aspect of this closed beta, but the content I see now, how the game is playing out, as well as what I see coming in the future. But I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. Right now, I want to talk about what the game does well. World War III, in my opinion, currently hosts some of the best gunplay on the market. The movements are good, the recoil is moderately hardcore, the damage models are excellent for the pacing of the game. Just for my general preference, I enjoy it better than Sandstorm, which comes in at a close second, and I enjoy it much, much better than 2042's gunplay. The idea that you've got to land your shots effectively and shoot around the enemy's armor is in itself an incredible feature. But the lower time to kill and high recoil just makes it perfect for me. I can't speak more highly of it. I also enjoy the fact that this game is one of the most team-based shooters that I've played. Most of the mechanics in this game promote team play, and I would say better than nearly every other game on the market. I'm sure I'll get corrected more in the comments below, but this game promotes teamwork even between squads. Not just because it has VoIP, which it does, nobody uses it, but it's got it, but also because when you follow your squad leader's orders and capture objectives and give your team some gadgets, you get to bring in more strikes that leads to a better shot at winning the game by capturing more objectives. This is one of the most objective play facilitating games that I've ever played. The way that squad play and communication plays out, even with randoms, is not perfect, and I'll get to that in a moment, but it's really, really great. Visually, I think the game looks great, the new maps look terrific, the weapon models are top-notch, and the immense customization is something you could put AAA titles to shame with. It's been changed quite a bit from the original build, with weapons only now being able to hold about 5 performance slots, but it does have a personal customization system that allows you to change a whole bunch of things. The front rail, the stock, the skins, etc. I don't know why they don't have everything unlockable in this closed beta right now as far as customization goes. It kind of leaves a lot to be desired, but it's also missing a marketing opportunity, because people are seeing how much you can do with your rifle in this closed beta. Like, this is the time to really push that, but whatever. The player and map graphics look fantastic. I really enjoy the look of that. I've seen several people mention in my comments that this looks like it's from a PS2 title, and I guess, I mean, I just don't see it. I don't know what you're talking about. It doesn't look like a PS2 title to me at all. I think everything looks pretty, I don't know, high quality, but I don't know, to each their own, I guess. Overall, I have really enjoyed my time in the game. It's been quite addicting, but like I said, that doesn't mean it's perfect. There are a lot of issues that I think this game is going to need to address soon, as well as some nitpicks that I'll get to at the end. Alright, let's first talk about stability and servers, because that's probably the biggest problem right now, and it's one of those things that, like I said, I sort of expected with the closed beta. With a lot of people jumping in, you're going to have issues with this, but some people can't seem to squad up with their friends, and when they do, they get kicked from their squad. I don't know if that's a problem now. I haven't had an issue with that for a while. Servers, you try to join a game and you end up right back at the menu screen. And another problem is that when you join and you leave the game, nobody fills your position, right? So you've got initially 20v20, and then that dwindles down to sometimes 10v10. You're playing against 10 people, and that's going to make the maps feel empty. I've seen a lot of gripes that people wish this were 64 players, but I think this is one of the reasons that they think that, because with 20v20, in my personal opinion, the flow of the game goes pretty well. It seems like a pretty balanced flow. Seems like there's some action here, not a lot of action when you're moving, but sometimes some in between. But when you've got 10v10 in a TAC Ops map, you're going to get bored. It's going to feel like an empty map. So I think we can better assess once this gets sorted out, and it may have by the time that I release this video. But overall, the general server and performance needs to be ironed out a little bit so people can actually play the game, because people are getting pretty salty with this. Next is the sound, and I see a lot of gripes about the sound as well. There are a lot of bugs that I've noticed while playing. When I'm firing the M417, I'm getting a little bit more beefy sound than when I'm right next to someone firing an M417. It does sound somewhat like an airsoft rifle. So some of those guns probably need their bass boosted a little bit, both in first-person mode and in third-person mode. There are also some vehicles that when you get into them, you hear nothing at all. You don't hear any vehicle sounds, you don't hear any footsteps, you can't hear anything but you shooting the rifle. So that needs to change. And then footsteps could use some work for sure. I'd like to hear a little bit better footstep sound, I think. Alright, moving on to another big thing here, and a gripe amongst most of the community, the progression. This is both frustrating for players and a concern for me in regards for what's to come. Progression takes forever. There are a lot of weapons in the game, but they take absolutely forever to unlock. I'm still trying to figure out what works best when it comes to experience, because it doesn't show me that either. It doesn't show me how I earned experience, it doesn't show why I got so much experience that round and not the next round. It just doesn't show me what makes things move faster. Now, under challenges, there are certain challenges that bring a booster, but I have no idea how long or what helps. Those are just things that it doesn't look like we have in the game yet, and we just have no way of knowing. But the biggest concerns here for me are that 1, progression is going to go so slow that everyone playing is going to have to buy boosters just to progress, and number 2, people who don't want to spend that money on boosters are going to quit because the game is just lackluster and lacks a reason to play. They don't want to grind that much. Overall, it's just a concern here that this grind is going to be a little bit too much. I understand that there's a fine line between making things too easy to get and also promoting a way to buy more things in a free-to-play title. They want people to buy those boosters. I get that, so they've got to find a balance here, otherwise they're going to lose a lot of players. And another concern I have, as I've been saying for a while now, the game lacks content. I don't know what's planned for the future, but in this closed beta, we've got 4 maps of the primary game mode TAC Ops and 2 maps in the Team Deathmatch. 2 game modes, 6 maps. Hopefully we see a roadmap here in the future. I think that would be a good way to communicate what people have to look forward to when playing this game, but I'm really concerned that this, coupled with the incredibly grindy progression, is going to lose a lot of players. As an example, Battlefield just added a Rush game mode. They plopped it in there shortly after the release. How fast can World War III do something like this? How fast can they make new game modes? In the old build, we had a game mode called Breakthrough, which is essentially Rush. Is that coming? We were testing Recon mode, which is their tactical battle royale. Is that coming? There are tons and tons of opportunities here. Hazard Zone is a joke and a half. If Recon mode came into this and really promoted a tactical royale, that's a huge opportunity. So hopefully this gets addressed here shortly. Now onto some smaller things here. I guess this one's a little bit bigger. Vehicles are unbalanced, not in the damage models per se. I think with the appropriate squad skill and once people understand how the game goes, I think it'll get easier and better to take them out. But I think the biggest issue when it comes to vehicles is the third-person vehicle mode. I think that makes it way too easy when it comes to utilizing these things. I think the easiest way to balance these is with the cameras up on top here. I think they should be where your camera is in-game. I don't like that third-person camera. I like more of the first-person camera. I think this would balance this a little bit more so you couldn't see 360 degrees around you all the time. And if you wanted to look to your right, you would actually have to turn the turret or turn the camera on top to see. And I think once those cameras get shot out, you've got to figure out your way to go back. I think vehicles just provide too much of a field of view right now. Obviously, I'm going to be making an anti-vehicle guide here shortly, so if that's something you're looking for, I've got you covered on that. But overall, I think if the game is going to take a more hardcore approach, I think this is appropriate. Otherwise, vehicles become a little bit too overpowered. A small gripe with capture points, sometimes they take a little bit too long. If you've got 2 full squads on that bad boy, that thing should fly up there. More if you've got 3. On the HUD, give us some cardinal directions, please, not just numbers. I do not know what 126 degrees is. I don't know if that's north, south, east, or west. I have no way of knowing that. I am not a survival expert. So please put some NESW on there for us. I think one of the things that makes the mobile spawn worthless is being able to spawn on all 4 of your teammates. Get rid of that spawning system. You should only be able to spawn on your squad leader. That's how it was before. That's the way that I think it should go, because right now, again, the mobile spawn is absolutely useless other than the gunner on top. I'd like to see the backpacks be more customizable. Right now, you can't really edit what you've got in the backpack. There are specific optics and specific attachments, but those are pre-selected, so you only have a certain amount of things that you can put in there. I think that if I want to put a long barrel on my rifle, I should be able to put it in the backpack. I think that maybe you should limit it like the guns are limited in their customization. I think you should limit the backpack in its customization. But I think you should open it to all the attachments available to whatever weapon you're carrying. And then lastly, like I mentioned before, more cosmetic customization. I have no idea why hardly any cosmetics are unlockable in this game right now. It's a closed beta. This is time to show people what people can do, right? It's time to show people what you can do with the guns in this game. That's what makes this game so great. If you want people to buy in, show them what they're buying into. I don't know, just seems like a silly call to me. But overall, I'm having a blast with the game. Despite its flaws, I'm having a really good time. It's a very good balance between casual and hardcore elements, probably more on the casual side, but still has a few hardcore elements in there. And the game does a great job at promoting teamwork. The game's just gonna need more stuff though. It's got a long way to go before it's considered a completed game. And it's unfortunate to me that after all this time, we haven't come super far in terms of extra content. Instead, we've actually lost a game mode, lost a map. So I don't know what the plan is here. I'm hoping, again, they have some sort of roadmap so we know what to look forward to. But another aspect of that is people see the roadmap and they say, oh, I'm going to start playing when this drops in. Oh, I'm going to start playing when this drops in. So I guess that could hinder people from joining as well. What do you guys think, though? What would you change? Let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to give the video a like to help me out with the algorithm. And I'll see you on the next one. So until then, be bold, be courageous, stay tactical.